Hey everybody, this is Corrie Farrington. What I'm going to be getting into today with y'all is developing your own research questions. And this can be found in the Sager text on pages 96 and 97. So, something we've already talked about a little earlier on in this course was the idea of developing a roadmap, kind of having that visual to see your research question, where it is you want to end up, and really the ways in which you plan on getting there. So, something Sager actually says in the text is that realistically, every item on your roadmap is an assumption. So he goes on to say that every piece of it is an assumption. We, as educators, or wherever you might be in our classrooms, are assuming something and creating our research question based on that. So some assumptions are really easy to see. They are very much on the surface of our research questions we've developed, but many of the assumptions, most of them, are beneath the surface. They're a little deeper in, and you have to kind of dig a little deeper to find them. So the example that he gives in the text, they use the idea that we're researching good grades awarded helps a student's self-esteem. So we want to research the correlation between good grades and self-esteem. So in this example, there's the obvious assumption that there's the positive correlation, and so we're going to research that. But some of the implied assumptions for this example would be that self-esteem is important. We're just assuming that self-esteem is something that students should have in the first place. Another implied assumption would be that good grades are valuable. Who even says that good grades have an effect on a student's self-esteem? Another assumption would be that different grades are awarded to different students, or that self-esteem is malleable. So as you can see, there is the obvious assumption that is guiding this research question in the first place. But obviously beneath that, there are many other layers of implied assumptions through that question. So what questions should you really answer? Can we explore every single assumption that's contained within our comprehensive theory of action? Obviously, I'm sure you can all attest to how busy our lives can get as educators, as professionals. We definitely have a lot going on in our lives, and so to devote time to developing these research questions and to then actually research them, it takes up a lot of our time. And so the crucial question that Sager narrows everything down to is, what are the specific assumptions that are worth spending my finite time and energy investigating? Obviously, we can't go into and investigate every single assumption that we're making within our research question. If we took the time to do that, then it would just take up every ounce of free time we had plus some. And because there are so many different roads you could go down. So because of that, you need to, as a researcher, very much narrow down what are the important assumptions you need to focus on. What is the specific things that you need to spend your time and your energy investigating? So with all of that being said, it really just leads straight to the discussion questions I have for you. I know this is a short facilitation for you guys, but the discussion questions I have are, what are some of the assumptions that lie beneath your overarching research question? So each of us have obviously been tasked with creating our own research question. What are some of the assumptions that you're now kind of seeing lie beneath your overall question? And then the second question I have for you is, how do you plan on actually narrowing down what you'll focus on? So what's your plan of action? What is your game plan to narrow down the important stuff? All right, and here are my references, and I hope you guys have a good evening.